Hello, happy Saturday. Happy Sip and Draw. Let's see if I did this right and I can see your comments. Lately, they changed something in here and makes it harder. See if people even show up. Let's see, here we go. There it is. Hi, Mom. Hello, hello. And Lisa. I'm not seeing the comments. Oh wait, I see one. Okay, I see them. We're good. We're good. We're good, guys. We're good. There we go. Okay. There we go. I can see your comments. Yay! Hi. Happy Saturday. Happy Sip and Draw. Let's take care of any announcements first. Let's see. We have stickers for sale. I'm going to post that link again tomorrow. There's a contest going on right now. I teamed up with Nanny Village, and you can win a rad amount of prizes. There's like a $75 gift card, a certificate for a free private drawing with me, and then all these art supplies. It's like over $200 value. So check that out. It's posted on the page. It's posted on Instagram. That's like kind of the main place you should be entering is on Instagram. So check that out. So Nanny Village is going on. Stickers for sale is going on. We're drawing Elvira tonight. I think that's all I have. I think that's it. So Sip and Draw tonight. Next week, there is a Sip and Draw for the patrons. So if you're a $10 or more Patreon subscriber already, you get a Sip and Draw next Saturday as well. If you haven't signed up as a Patreon member yet, it's not too late. I'll probably post that tomorrow too. Tomorrow will just be like business posts, I guess. So tonight we're doing Elvira. Have your drinks. What's everyone drinking tonight? I'm still not really drinking. I got this Liquid Death sparkling water because, you know, it seemed fancy. So cheers. We are having trivia tonight, Elvira trivia. I will say it a million times, but write your answers down. Don't write them in the group. Don't call them out. If you do, you're giving the answer away. So there's 10 questions, like always. Write your answers down, and at the end, we will go through all the answers and see if Fiona wins again. Fiona's kicking butt in our trivia. So I think I send her a drawing every Sip and Draw at this point. So you can drink every time we say Elvira or Halloween. How about that? Yes, trivia. Write your answers down. Elvira. Okay. Let me talk about this Elvira drawing. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. There's a face involved. There's hands involved. There's feet involved. You are going to see me redo it a million times. I know this. I redid it a million times when I was drawing it originally. You're also probably going to see me do a little bit more, I would say, sketchy lines. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when I'm drawing lines with you guys, I'm doing very smooth lines. And this is just one where I'm going to have to do a little bit more sketchy lines. I don't know how to call it other than that. Those Corona seltzers are delicious, Robin. I had them when I was in Vegas, and I liked them better. I've never been a big, like, Truly, any of those seltzer fans. I like some of them that come from the breweries, but the ones that you buy in the store, I haven't really liked that much. And then I got the Corona ones, and they're pretty good. There's also the Bud Light one. Was really good. Anyway, okay, back to the drawing. So yes, it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit tricky. I know I'm going to erase a bunch of times. I'm not going to like the way the legs look. I'm not going to like the way the arms look. It just, yeah. So I already know this one's going to be hard for me to draw, which means it's going to be hard for me to teach. I'm not a pro at people. I do people more for the fun of it. So I hope that's what you're doing too, is for the fun of it. So let me flip it around. Yes, try the Bud Light ones. They're good. I really liked the lime. Okay, let me flip you around and show you what we're doing. So here we go. I would like to ultimately write Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I actually started up here, but I kept running into her hair. So I'm probably, when I draw it tonight, I'm going to draw it and then do her wording. And if it goes on her hair, I will put the letters like out of her hair, on top of her hair, because I want the Elvira on there. And then I was just going to write like Mistress of the Dark. So yeah, it's a little hard. You've got legs crossing over each other. You have arms. The nice thing is you can hide some things with the hair. And I do think once this is colored in, it will be so cute. So if you don't realize, like, this is all skin. Her dress is going between her legs and behind her. So this would be dress, this would be dress, this would be dress, this is dress. Like here the dress is hanging over the sleeves, here it's hanging down. So yeah, just kind of hang in there, do your best. I did keep the space pretty simple, actually. Nancy, that was hilarious. Everyone should read Nancy's comment because that was good. Yeah, maybe what it is that this one was just more, again, when I drew this, I was just being very sketchy and doing these like little lines. So maybe it's just that too. I didn't feel like I could do these real continuous motions, but we'll try. We'll see how this goes. So take your drinks. Here's your things. Take your drinks every time you hear Elvira, every time you hear Halloween, or every time you get really frustrated. And trivia questions, there are 10 of them. Write your answers down. Okay, so I'm going to start with this pumpkin. And I actually made this pumpkin kind of just more squared off. I am not trying it in pen, Lisa. You do you. You go for it, girl. So I'm just going to do this kind of boxy squared shape. Not quite a circle, not quite a square. See, I'm already erasing. And I might actually, like when I did this earlier, I heightened the pumpkin. I adjusted the size too. So you kind of just have to like start going for it. So the first line I'm going to do is her butt. So I'm going to bring a curved line down into the pumpkin, and then it's going to curve up because this is going to be where her knee is. So this is like her hip. And then from here, Actually, I'm going to drop this down just a little bit. So this up here, I'm going to do a line coming down at an angle. And I'll have it about the same length as here. And now this is going to be her calf. So we need to come out for a calf and then go back in for an ankle. So you can keep this pretty pointed, and I'm just going to curve out and then take it back in. It's kind of a legs for days situation here. Now this is a knee, so we need to curve around the knee, and the shin just comes back towards the skinny ankle. The ankles get really thin. I'm going to make this calf a little different there, cut it in a little bit more. Now you can erase the pumpkin line that goes across the leg. So there we go, leg number 1. Now this front line should come a little longer than the back line. And you're going to curve and connect it. You can erase the pumpkin line. You can erase this pumpkin line. And then off of this back, I'm going to put the back of the shoe. I'm going to do the heel first. So a long skinny rectangle, and then just coming down into that heel. And I'm going to adjust that heel a bit too. There we go. Success. One leg down. Only one leg and 2 arms and a head and a body to go. Okay, let's give you guys a trivia question. Don't forget, write your answers down, please. Don't write them in the group. Don't write them in the chat. What is a famous musician that Elvira dated who gave her business advice? Give me a famous musician that she dated who gave her business advice. Write your answers down. Okay, now this line here off of the butt, the thigh, is going to come up and in a bit because this is going to be like where her waist is, and then her body's going to come up. So I'm going to take her waistline and put it in. I'll make that a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to do the dress. Remember, the dress goes between her legs. So this is just going to wave down. I'm going to have it wave out just a little bit more. There we go. Now, the next leg starts a little bit up from this leg. She did have a skinny waist. And you're going to take this leg out. And instead of this leg is kind of bending back, this one's going to be going forward more. So you're coming out and then down, out this way. And you're staying pretty straight with this line because, again, it's a shin. And then we would have that thigh, that calf. I want this at a different angle. See, I'm gonna make a lot of adjustments. There we go. So this calf coming out and then coming back into an ankle. Now this line is going to come a lot further out than this back line. And you need to kind of look at your legs just to make sure they kind of match up in length, you know, that you don't have one leg that's like way down here. You know, my legs, they're bent differently, but they're kind of about the same length. I'll do a line that curves up right here. And then again, putting that shoe in, that high heel. There we go. Look at those legs. Elvira's got some legs. Now I'm going to put some knee lines. I'll put one right here, and then I'll put one kind of coming off the side here and up at the top. And there we go. We've got 2 legs down. I actually really found the legs to be the easiest part of this drawing. Not to scare you, but I had the hardest time with her arms. That's what I really struggled with. Okay, trivia question number 2. Write your answers down. Don't put them in the chat. Who did Elvira lose her virginity to? Who did she lose her virginity to? Okay, now for her body, we're gonna do, you know, kind of that hourglass figure. She was narrow, but, you know, she's getting wider up near the chest. So I'm gonna do a line coming up here and a line coming up here. And now, what you've all been waiting for, I don't know, her boob. So I'm going to do a circular shape off to this side, and trust me, I will make her boobs bigger over and over. I want her very booblicious. Wouldn't that have been a funny drinking word? Every time I said booblicious. So there's boob number 1. Now, number 2, I'm not going to see the really like outside roundness of it. You can kind of put that in, but you're going to end up covering some of that with an arm. So don't worry too much about the size of this one. Just make it similar on the under cup, because you will see that. Catherine, don't give out hints. Remember, you write your answers down. And now between the boobs, we're going to put a V. So we're going to come down and back up. And the nice thing about this drawing is you really don't have to do too much. We're not really doing too much with like shoulders. I mean, we will, but a lot of this top part gets covered with hair, so don't stress that part. And then we want boob on the inside. And I don't necessarily have to have it touching the lines. That I'm going to erase away. I just want to see a little bit of it right here. And I actually want her boobs touching. This is the most time I've said boobs in any drawing we've ever done. Cheers. Okay, now this can come into a shoulder. So just you have this line a little bit up and bring it over. Don't worry about it too much and bring it down. And this is where you have to look at, is your arm going to be ridiculously long based on where your pumpkin is? I think mine is going to. So I am going to take my pumpkin and I'm going to raise it by just adding a little bit of height to the top, because to go down that extra little bit, it just really makes the arm just way too long. And this line, I'm going to have it come to about here and then come out, curve out and down to the pumpkin. The other arm line, you want to be, don't make her arms too wide. You want it to be pretty narrow. And I'm going to stop it right about there. And then I want a finger, so I'm going to kind of do the curve of the thumb right here. So a curve and a thumb. Make that thumb a little bit longer. We're not going to see all of her fingers, so we're going to have fingers resting. Let's have one that's way too long to be a finger. One there. This could work as one of the second fingers because that next finger would be a little bit longer. And then as a little trick here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the V's of the dress and make the dress hanging over the rest of her hand. So do you see how I did that? I just did two fingers and then I have that dress hanging over. And you could do the dress, even more obnoxiously down here. But that way you're not doing that whole hand because you don't really need to. And there, that looks good. Her arm looks a decent proportion for her body. If you hang your arms down at your sides, your arms come about to where your hips and butt is. So that's works. The next one is holding that glass of wine. So I'm going to come from about the same armpit. Her armpit would be in the same place on both sides. And I'm going to come down. Thanks, Jamie. And remember, if you're late and you want to draw it later, I'll repost the video in full. Now we're going to put an elbow bend right here and bring this side of the arm up. And then from the other side, you have, you know, the shoulder coming off of the same top of the V. Bring it down however wide you have her arms set, and then coming back up. And now this is, you know, imagine you're like holding the cup. So you're going to see this like curve hump of the hand. I mean, I'm not doing it appropriately as my own hand, but this line here, you're going to come a little bit longer than this. In fact, I'm going to erase this a little bit because I feel like my arms are getting obnoxiously long. So I want this up and curved. And then I would see a finger. And then I'd have another finger off of it. Again, we won't see all the fingers here. One more that's a little bit longer off of it. And then this will curve up into the arm. So you end up with the wrist, which is then holding her glass of wine. So I'm going to put a wine glass, a U. Now you could have her hold, maybe you want yours drinking a martini. You could do a martini glass. You could do any kind of glass you wanted. And then I'll put the stem on the other side. So it's like she's holding the stem of the glass between her fingers, you know, so you're seeing the fingers on this side and not the ones on the back side. That little wine glass bottom. I'm just going to change this line a little, make her arm a little bit wider right there, I think. You're welcome. Yeah, you guys can always ask me to go in closer if you feel like you're missing out on something. So all I'm doing right here is just kind of perfecting the arm, perfecting the width. Now, what I want to do, you know, over on this arm, I had the dress really hanging off to the side. So I want to show that same type of sleeve over here. So I'm going to do a little fold, little line, and then another little fold that comes down and does the little zigzaggy V's and comes back up. And then you'll actually erase this arm line. And now you have that sleeve that, because she's holding her arm up, is hanging off the side. And then now both sides match. They both have this long, drapey sleeve. Okay, let's give you another trivia question. Don't forget, write your answers down. Don't write them in the chat. Elvira was offered $1 million to do something and she turned it down. What did she turn down? So write your answers down. She was offered $1 million to do something. What was it? She said no. Okay. How's everyone doing? How's everybody feeling about their drawings? Has anyone thrown in the towel? Is anyone struggling with any areas that you want me to go over again? I keep wanting to change these heels. Doing okay. I had a little reconnection error, so I didn't say anything during it, so I don't think you missed anything. Okay, I'm not going to put a neck. A neck will occur with the hair. So I'm just going to do a face. So right in here, I'm going to do a face. Just basically putting a U shape in. A scale of 2 to 0, I'm doing okay. I know these people are hard, but I do think this is a good challenge. It really is. Like, even if yours comes out the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, like I will be honest, I never really like my people. I drew the one tonight and thought, meh, it's fine, it works. But yeah, they're hard, but they're fun to draw though. It's good to challenge yourself, basically. The shoes, right? I struggled with the shoes. They look better this time, but man, last time I really struggled with the shoes. Now, before we move on to our face, because I know that's going to be a struggle for some, you want to see this dress coming from between her legs, because you have this part that's dangling. You know, if this was going through her legs, we would see some of it. So we're going to just pick up some dress, which is just going to be those V's. We'd see some there. And then we're going to see some just coming from the back. And I think that's the important thing to remember when you're doing these kind of caricature drawings, is that you're really just trying to more or less capture them. If you go search Elvira drawings, you will see drawings that are nowhere close, but it has the boobs, it has the outfit. So if you capture the essence of it is really what you're going for. Just always remember that. Okay. Now, onto the face. So the eyes, I'm going to do a line that curves up and out. Almost to the side of the face. And not that necessarily this is the side of her face, because we're just going to see hair here anyway covering that. I'm going to do a little bloop for her nose, a little curve, and then another little curve to the right of it. I'll zoom in a little more on the face since we're focusing on that. I want those dramatic, big lips. So I'm doing that heart shape on the top. Really dropping them down. And then a line through. For the eye, I'm going to put a curved circle here and here. I'll do another smaller one. I'm not going to worry about drawing like the circle of light right here. I'm just going to put it in when I do it with my pen because it's such a small space. And then from here, you're going to have just a little bit of the eye, the lower eye line coming down. Up above the eye, we're going to put an eyebrow. Don't worry too much on this eyebrow because, again, the hair is going to cover it a lot, but we want to see that she has eyebrows. I can't get much closer than that. That's as close as my camera can get you. Now she's going to have bangs, so just start doing some wispy lines this way. And her bangs actually are quite long. They're like mine. When I wear mine, they kind of come over my eyebrows and above my eye. And then she has that beehive. So I'm just going to draw that. And then this hair will go up. And I just put some of the lines in. I'm really going to do it in pen, but just so you get the basic shape. And then from here, you have the hair coming down, and you want to make sure that you end up giving her a neck with hair. So see, I'm just going to start putting these wispy lines in. And then they give you a neckline. Just like so. And then a lot of this you will again end up like kind of perfecting with your pen. And then I will color it too. Now, I said I wanted to do the lettering, and I really do on this one. We also need to do the pumpkin face. You don't have to put a pumpkin face. In fact, maybe yours isn't sitting on a pumpkin. Maybe it's something else entirely. But I'm going to do the top of the pumpkin. So I'm going to do the line kind of curving out for the stem. It's going to come out on the other side of her arm. Put an oval on the top of it. And bring it in. And then I did a big smiley mouth. I gave mine vampire teeth. And then I thought it would be funny to have the pumpkin drooling. Horse with a poodle cut. And a triangular nose. And I'm going to do triangles for eyes. You can do your pumpkin face however you like. This eye would be, make that one a little bit bigger. Coming out from underneath her. And then I'm going to put circles right here to give the pumpkin like a direction that it's looking, almost like it's looking at her. Now for the lettering, I'm trying to capture that like lettering that was on the show. So I'm doing block lettering, but the lines are very wavy. And like I said, it's going to go over her hair. When I did the drawing earlier, I put it all in pen first, so I didn't have a chance. Again, I couldn't have it disappearing behind her hair. And it's just that monster looking lettering, monster movie. And if you don't like it, if you want to just do the drawing, you can do that too. Some people will be like, what? I just made this cool beehive and now you're going to make me write over it. I just feel like it's missing something for me without the writing. But my original didn't have it. And then I'm going to do cursive. All right, let's come back out again so you can see the whole thing. There we go. Okay. So when I'm doing this pen portion, I need to make sure that I do my lettering first, and then I'm going to draw the beehive like behind the lettering. So I'm going to start up at my lettering. And while I am outlining, I am going to give you another trivia question. Don't forget to write your answers down. What is Elvira's real name? She is a real person. So what is her actual name? I'm going to color this lettering into in that kind of neon-y green that you see in like the monster movie covers. There we go. So I don't have to worry as much about doing this one, but you know, because that one is just on its own, but I will. I just needed to make sure that sometimes you'll draw something last and it'll be what you do in pen first. Just because you need to make sure it lives on top of your drawing. I'm going to rip this out. I always loved Elvira. Did any of you guys watch the show? I remember watching it as a kid. I always thought it was funny. She was funny. Okay. So for the beehive, I'm still going to do the outline edge of it behind the letters. I'm not going to do too much of the hair before I erase. I'm just going to put a little bit, like the edges and a little bit of the middle. Because I can always do that at the end. Now when I do this eye, I'm going to do this upper line. And then I'm going to do it again thicker towards the middle and the end. So we get that real dramatic cat eye. She was not shy with the eye makeup. So see how I did that? I kind of added a thickness to that, and I might even go back and put more. This littler dot, that's the one where you're going to leave just a little bit of white in there for like a circle of light in her eye. It was such a small space, it didn't make sense to draw one in, but see how I'm leaving a little bit of white in there? And then that can come down and in. Because her eyes, she kind of did this like point of makeup. So see, I'm going to bring that point a little bit in. She also really wore a satchel that had a blade in it. So if you want to be really accurate, you could add that in. I am not. Okay, your next question. Write your answers down. Let me finish this leg first. Ooh, I just made her leg really wavy. What Pee Wee Herman movie was Elvira in? Bonus points if you can tell me what her character was. So what Pee Wee Herman movie was Elvira in? And bonus points if you know what the character was that she played. She's had a lot of cameos in random movies, not as Elvira, though I think she's had cameos as Elvira too. Let's get this part of the dress. This part. Not going directly on top of those lines, but that's okay. Oh. I think I missed a trivia question. So let's give you another one. This one might be out of order. I don't think I asked you guys this. What beer did Elvira advertise for? She did commercials for a certain beer. So write your answers down. That was actually question 3, but... Another thing I'm going to do in pen once I get all these things on is I'm going to put black nails on her. I need to put something in her glass. So let's do a little wave of wine. Okay, now I'll come down in here. Do this pumpkin. Oh, I didn't do the eye. I meant to have that not connected, so I'm not going to do the eyes now. So when I do the mouth, I need to make sure to go around the teeth. The drool, though, I am going to have its own separate thing because I'm actually going to make it drool. So I'm going to do this in like a blue, even though the pumpkin will be, you know, in the orange color. Man, by the end of this, by the end of October, you guys should be pros at drawing pumpkins because we have done a lot of pumpkins. Okay, and once I have all that, I can erase, and then I'll go in and I'll do her hair once I have all the other stuff off the page. So you can erase all of the lines out of your letters, which will make them look better. Lots of pencil smudging on here today. How did everybody do? How does yours look? Did anyone just quit? I hope not. I hope you kept going, even if you think it looks goofy. And I hope you share it with us. So I hope when you're done, you post a picture in the group so we all can see. Ooh. Your shoes look like goldfish. Oh, that's a good. Okay, well, you have to share, Robin, because I want to see the goldfish shoes. Okay, I do want to put her chin back in. I accidentally erased it, but she does need her chin. She doesn't need any neck pieces, but her chin, we don't want to leave her chinless. Man, I need a major desk eraser dusting. Okay, I think that's good because I need to color it anyway. Coloring always covers some of those little pencils. So I'm going to come back with that pen and I'm going to give her her chin. And then I'm really going to go heavy in her hair. Now I will still color her hair in black with a pencil, so I still don't need to do it solid, but I'm gonna put more lines in. Everyone must be focused. No one is talking. There we go. That works. Okay. Now I'm excited for this one. I like it with the lettering. I really felt like it was missing something when I did it earlier. I wanted to get that lettering on there, but I just couldn't get it. Now, if you gave up, if you just couldn't take it, I will be posting the original as a coloring page, so do not fret if you want to just color it in. You can do that. And let's give you another trivia question before I move on to the coloring. What business was Elvira's family in? So her real family owned a business. What were they in the business of? Okay, so let's do... I'm going to save most of the black for last because, again, I just know that I'll smudge it all over the place. I'll do these letters first. And we have, let's see, 3 more trivia questions. So next one, write your answers down. What was or is Elvira's favorite Halloween candy? I always think these letters, when they're colored green like this, they just kind of look like slime. Well, I've kind of gone a little bit out of order, I think. So we have, so far the questions are, what musician did she date? Who gave her advice? Number 2 is, who did she lose her virginity to? Number 3 was actually, what beer did she advertise for? Number 4 was, she was offered $1 million to do something but turned it down, said no. Number 5 is, what is her name? What's Elvira's name? Number 6 is, what Pee Wee Herman movie was Elvira in? Bonus points if you know the character she played. Number 7 is, what business did Elvira's family run? And number 8 is, what was her favorite Halloween candy? Those are all the questions we have so far. I think I asked the beer one in the wrong order. So if you have that down as like another number, don't worry about it. But at this point, you should have 8 answers on your paper. I have to say, this sparkling water is quite delicious, this Liquid Death. It's good. I like it. And it makes me feel like I'm having something a little fancier. The last couple times I've just had plain water. I would actually see some hairlines in here. It's funny how sometimes when I draw, I find that I'll draw something and I'll really like the first version. So I'll draw it, to give you guys a preview, and then I'll draw it again for you. And when I draw it for you, I almost never like the second one better, but this one I definitely do. I definitely like how this one came out, more so than my one earlier. Now for the pumpkin, I'm going to do these inner eyes a real bright orange, or you can do them kind of a yellow, either orange or yellow works good. It gives it that kind of glowing look. You could also even, you know, I did put eyeballs in the eyes, and then when I was doing it in pen, I put a line through it, and I wanted it, see how the teeth are like, they don't have a line cutting them off. So when I did the full triangle, and I didn't mean to, and I didn't like that. So I took the eyeballs out. So I changed that in this drawing just because I put a line in the wrong place, if that makes sense. I'm going to come in with some yellow on top of this to blend it out a little bit and add just a little bit more glow factor. Yeah, that was a last minute change just because I messed up. And that's why sometimes I like to erase lines as I go that I don't want anymore. So that way I don't mistakenly forget them and then go over the top of them. And usually you can tweak the drawing to fix it, but then I am going to have this, yeah, and you know, it's not a big deal if they have a line. I could have left it too with the line. One of my first drawings with the pumpkin, I did a line in it. I kind of want that drool in there. I'm going to get a dark orange. Which one of these is darker? Well, I'll go with the one that says dark orange. And color in the rest of the pumpkin. And we'll have some fun with her makeup too. We're going to give her some eyeshadow and some blush. Just going around the edges like I like to do sometimes to make sure I don't color anything out of the line. Oh, well, that's cool. I didn't ever think about a white gel pen. All right, let's give you another trivia. write your answers down. What year did Elvira hit fame? And I'll tell you, it only took her 2 weeks. She was signed on to do the show, the show she did for B movies, B horror films. She was signed on for it, and 2 weeks later, she was on Johnny Carson. So she hit it really quickly. But what year was that? What year did she hit fame? Write your answers down. We only have one more question, and then we'll go over all of the right answers and find out who won tonight. For those that wonder, the winner of trivia always gets the original drawing. And then you will also be getting stickers now. So if you win, you'll get at least one of the 2 stickers that we have available with your drawing. And you will get this one. Even though I like this one better than my other one, you get to keep the one I do tonight. The pumpkins and the lettering is probably what's going to take the longest to color, because it's such a big space. My pencil is needing to be sharpened. A little bit of sharpening. Let's ask that last question. How old is Elvira? How old is she? So now you should have 10 answers on your page. All of the questions have been asked. All right, there's my pumpkin. I'm going to just do my pumpkin stem. A little bit of a lighter brown. Well, we had about 20 people drawing at the beginning, so either people went on their own to color, or people said, forget it, and bailed out. Either way, it'll remain a mystery. I'm going to give her a burgundy wine. I feel like if she had a glass of wine on the show, it would be a red wine. You could also make it like the color of blood too, if you want to make it even creepier. Okay, now I'm going to get a find her skin color, or as close as I can find. Let's do this one. And I went ahead and, I'm just coloring in the whole face. I will add some makeup in there, but I also put some of that color in with the bangs. Oh, and I still need to do her nails. That's another detail. I'll add that when I sign it. I always sign the drawing, so when I get the pen again to sign it, I will do the nails. She usually had long black nails. Oh, my pencil's breaking. Do a little darker around the cleavage. Okay, let's give you some trivia question answers. So, first one, what famous musician did she date who gave her business advice? And that was Elvis Presley. She actually dated a couple musicians, but the one that did give her the business advice was Elvis. Awesome, Rosie. And then number 2, who did she lose her virginity to? It was another musician, and it was Tom Jones. And yes, he was known for packing heat. Okay, let's get some red for those lips. What beer did she advertise for? You might have this question further down your list, but I'll give you the answer now. I think I asked it out of order. She advertised for Coors. Coors decided to call themselves the official beer of Halloween, and they got Elvira to do commercials for them. Okay, now for her face, I'm going to do just kind of a light pink as blush. It looks much darker to me than it will to you. That just gives her that rosy cheek. And then she wore purple eyeshadow. So I'm going to get a purple. And just do purple between the eyebrow and the top of the eye. Oh, look at that. Elvira. Next trivia question. She was offered $1 million to be in Playboy magazine, and she turned it down. And Hugh Hefner always called her the one that got away. He tried multiple times to get her in his magazine, and she wouldn't do it. If you said get naked, I'll accept that as an answer. What is her real name? Her real name is Cassandra Peterson. So Elvira's name is Cassandra Peterson. I'm just going over this with a colorless blender just to smooth it out a little. Blend in those cheeks. Blend the legs a bit. When I color directly on this board instead of having paper behind it, it actually creates more white in the background. What Pee-wee movie was Elvira in? She was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and she played a biker. She was in the famous scene where he dances on the table, on the bar. And she's one of the bikers in the bar. She goes up at some point and talks to him, actually. And most people do not know it's her, because she definitely doesn't look a lot like Elvira when she's not in the whole getup. Most of the time, she sports red hair. I'm going to put paper behind this. What business did her family own? Her family owned a costume business, which really helped form who she became. I thought that was an interesting fun fact. I did not know that, but it really makes a lot of sense. So she was used to costumes and used to dressing up. Her favorite Halloween candy is candy corn. I'm probably going to go over all of this dress too with a colorless blender. I'm going to do her hair very last. And I don't necessarily want to color all of her hair in solid. I won't use a colorless blender in her hair, but I will on the dress. With my little stubby black pencil. Last two questions. What year did she hit fame? She hit fame in 1981. Did I color the glass itself? The wine glass? Yes, I colored the wine glass like a light blue, just to make it look kind of like glass. So 1981 was when she became the Mistress of the Dark. And how old is Elvira today? Elvira is 69. And looking great. arm. And that is all the trivia. So let me know how many you got right. And we'll see who got the most right tonight. See who was up on their Elvira trivia. Two so far. 6. 10. You got all of them, Linda? I still like coloring on here. Did you watch Elvira or did you just study before tonight? Because you knew we were having trivia. I'm impressed. I wouldn't have known half of those answers. Some of them I would have guessed, but you researched. Well, I don't think we have anyone else who's going to get 10. So you get the drawing this evening. And Linda, send me your address again. I'm sure I have it if I scroll back, but if you can send it to me again, that would be great. Yeah, you did your homework. I mean, you guys can always study up for the trivia. I don't care. If you were going to trivia night, I figure people would study for it then. So you don't lose any points for studying. I just don't want people looking it up while we're doing it. And man, 6. Who got 6? Kay got 6. Good job, Kay. I always feel like if you can get more than half right, you're doing pretty good. I feel like after all these trivias, I need to start attending a trivia night. Although I'll be honest, I'm terrible at trivia. Whenever I try to answer, I'm like, I love to try to play Trivial Pursuit, and I'm really bad at it. And I'm going to use that colorless blender a bit, and then I'll go back in and do her hair. Let me find it. I just sharpened it. There we go. I just really don't want there to be as much white showing. So this colorless blender does the trick. Takes that all out for the most part. There'll be a little bit left behind. That's awesome. I love that you guys are studying up. Definitely also think that this is one of those drawings that No matter how well you did, it looks okay when it's drawn, and then it really looks great once you color. This is a drink. This is a drawing that needs color. I was looking at her drink when I said that. It really looks good once you get all the different parts colored in. I really love her legs. It's probably my favorite part of this drawing. Are those legs for days. All right, last I have to do her hair. Now her hair, you could actually leave it how it is and leave a lot of that white showing through. I do want to color that in though, but I want the lines that I made to show up, so I'm not doing it especially dark. You could do it in darker, like right in there, certain places. Like it's really dark where her, and then maybe more dark right in here by her neck. The rest I'm keeping on the lighter side. I still actually might hit this with the colorless blender. Good night, Rosie. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to share your artwork. You can load it on the page. You can share it on Instagram. Whatever you prefer. Also, don't forget to enter the contest. It's a pretty awesome prize package from Nanny Village. And you can find the link to that on the Draw with Stacy page. You might have to scroll down a little bit since people are going to be posting. Oh, thanks, Rosie. Since people are going to be posting pictures. But you can find it. I have faith in you. Yeah, see, I like it darker right here at the base, right at the roots. Maybe just some darker strands. Oh, this is fun. I like it. I missed two things. So with the pen, I know there was something else I said I missed. What was I going to do with the pen, guys? I said it. I'm going to sign it. And she has a beauty mark, which I didn't put in. So she has a beauty mark under her cheek. And I swear I had one more thing I wanted to do with the pen. I even said, oh, I'll go back in and do that. Maybe it'll come to me. All right, there we go. Oh, fingernails. There, see, thank you. So I'm just going to do little curved claw-like shapes. off the nails. There we go. Thank you, Nancy. I could not think of it. I was like, what did I say I was going to do? So see, just adding little nails in there. Kind of a very elongated teardrop is basically what you end up doing. And there we go. There is our Elvira, Mistress of the Dark drawing. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you liked the challenge. I know this one was a little bit trickier than we normally do. I know it was tricky for me too, but sometimes it is definitely fun to challenge yourself into doing something you're not comfortable with. I think, you know, part of this group is encouraging the kids to do that a lot. So it's fun sometimes at night on the Saturday night to get you guys doing the same. So thanks for coming. I will be posting info on stickers and how to enter the nanny village. If you can't find the post, I'll do some of that tomorrow. And I will see my patrons on Monday. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up on Patreon, you still can. The minimum level is $5 a month, and you get a bonus drawing every single Monday. If you do $10 a month, then you also get extra sip and draws. So my patrons, I will see you Monday, and my regular groupies, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you so much. Happy drawing, and have a wonderful Saturday night.